So in this section, we are going to continue with communication skills, and we are looking at effective communication. Communication is not effective until a feedback is given within the process of communication. So communication is really not effective until feedback is given within the process of communication. Within the process of communication or at the end of it. So have you told a story to somebody and then he's there? Yes, he's listening, but he's not saying yes. So you mean they chased your child for fees? Was that yesterday? Okay. Now I'm yes. And you're speaking to somebody and is not giving you feedback. But in the story where you're telling somebody and is even adding in some interjecting in with some clues, informing you that there is giving attention. That is also one way of feedback within the communication process. But also at the end of it, someone is waiting to hear what you are saying and say, okay, yes, I've listened to what you're saying. Let us see next time. I thought you were going to tell me maybe a way forward or some possible solutions to get out of my challenge. So when I don't experience that, then feedback has struggled. Of course, there are some people who send messages and say you should not reply here. They are there. Only admins can reply. If you want, find another way. Then you cannot know that communication was effective. Even if you were to go and announce on a radio, we need children, we need learners, and then no one comes. No one comes, like has heard the announcement there and is coming as to apply for a position. Then feedback is not there. So feedback can be in terms of response by message or reaction. So how do we know that there is feedback? One, the recipient reacts to the message through speaking, writing, through speaking or writing to the message. Through speaking or writing. The recipient takes an action. That is another. Speaking or reaction through speaking or writing. The recipient can also take an action. For example, that action could be stand up, the person stands up and stands up. Then we say there is an action taken. Okay. There should be change. That's another change. To show that there is a feedback. If there's the other day you said, please you comb the hair, and then today the person comes without combing hair. Possibly the action has not been taken, there is no change. Yet communication has got to also create change in the people receiving it. Others actually attribute communication to, instead of only change, reformation, reform. Okay, let people be reformed to, that is change for better. A reformation is changing to get better. Those are attributes of what shows that feedback actually. So indicators that show existence of feedback in an audience or to the receiver of the message. Then now let us look at characteristics of effective communication. When I say what does it mean, like when I say what does it mean, hmm? Like I say what does it mean? What is that in your local language? What does it mean? Hmm? Inyobo ake polo lu. Inyobo ape polu. Inyobo apeleke. Hmm? Apoloke. Inyoba apoloke. Okay. So if somebody does not know that Inyobo apoloke and then asks you, what does Inyobo apoloke mean? How do you explain to that person? Eh, okay. So now it should be one of the characteristics of effective communication. Those are indicators that show us that communication is effective. One, it should be correct. There are actually seven C's of effective communication. The first C is correct. What is the other? C. Courteous. Yes? Courteous. Hmm? Courtesy. Okay. So one of the attributes, let's see, someone has mentioned another which we shall see is courteous. So when we say, for example, the first one we said correct, then the message must be valid, okay, right. Yes, should be right. You've seen what happens on Fool's Day. I don't know whether Fool's Day reaches here. Okay, so on Fool's Day, The message, some people can come with messages, and then those messages are not correct. Yes. Then if that was a message, it is incorrect. Because it's not valid, not really correct. So even in writing, there are some messages you have to make sure that what you're writing is correct. Then you have to edit the message to make it correct. Remove errors. Hmm? How do we write the first book of Matthew? What is it? The spell, yes. T what? Mhm. Like that. Uh-huh. So when you write this, that is, you are not referring to the book in the Bible, because that one is not there. So for that case, it is not correct with single T. So that's, we can only do those, eliminate mistakes through editing. We edit meaning of words through getting the most appropriate word to be used, and then uh, we also edit the flow of the story, so that first thing first, next thing next, and then those that follow come in later. Then make the message clear. That's another. What does clarity mean? The message should be clear. Clarity should be simple. Hmm? Okay. Brief to the point. Yeah. So what we see actually as being clear, you remove the message should not bring doubt. Doubt. Where there is no doubt. You remove double meaning. There are words which have double meanings. You remove all of them and eliminate confusion. To also be clear in terms of feedback, it is better if somebody tells you, I'm inviting you to the wedding party on Saturday next week. Then and you respond, I will see. What does that person do? He prepares for you the seat, something to eat, or what? Hmm? Yes. Yes. Hmm. You're doubting. Just tell the person, let me tell you on Tuesday by 9 I will have informed you uh, about my attendance. Then the person will know, oh, he wants to come, but there are certain things which are holding him or her up that he's going to inform me. And when that time comes, you inform that person, I'm not able to make it. If you have something to contribute, but my contribution is going to come, let that contribution also go. Hmm? You see, sometimes we give people just false hope. Let me see. Don't mind, and then you don't do anything. That most of about 97% of the people whom you tell a problem, and they say, let's pray for you, never pray. They never. There are those That's the 3%. Then we have complete. The other characteristic is complete. So that means the message should not be partial. You are invited for a meeting. Finished. Which meeting? When? What time? Where? So that's why those W's, you know them. Huh? The what? What is it for? Why? When? Who? Where? The who? Whom is and whom. When is when covered? Have to be addressed in your communication to make it complete and also clear. Then we also have another aspect called conciseness or being concise. That the message should not have unnecessary details. There is necessary detail and unnecessary detail. So it should be simplified and straightforward. Yes. That's why you tell people that possibly if you wanted to include it, that the seminar will have refreshments, meals will be provided. Other than now starting to tell them the meals will be chicken, rice and matoke. Uh, yeah. Yes. Yes. That's unnecessary detail. So someone who does not want beans will not come. Yet you will come if they are meals and get surprised to see beans. So what we call courteous or courteous in messages is you make the message appealing. Okay. When I was coming from the supermarket, I bought a chapati at 1,400 from a supermarket, but they had packaged it in here. This and then put that sticker. So what we call even messages, you could have a good message, but if it is not appealing, it is not attractive, very few people will give it attention. It's like sending somebody to go and get a contract from a very good expert marketeer from MTN manager to go to MTN manager and get a contract, and then he goes with a dirty shirt, with a shoe which has holes, and enters the office. And by appearance, the guy has a message, but it's not packaged well. Even when it comes to designing, you find some posters. Even people who are selling cigarette those years, they would design a poster and make people feel like if you don't smoke a cigarette that day, you will not be living. So that's making the message appealing. Let it attract, be attractive. Design it well. So there are some report cards you receive from a school and said their report card is so good. These people must be doing good work. But when the teachers are really not doing that good work, but it's packaged what? Well. They have another concept, another characteristic called considerateness. Considerateness. What does it mean to be considerate? So yes, uh-huh. Should cater for different categories. People, some people may not be hearing but seeing. Also, maybe if you only package the message to be only spoken, that's why in some audiences you can go with a projector is there, but also you're speaking to the audience. You're considering someone who has not heard the message, but possibly can trace by reading it. I heard someone here when we were communicating. I deliberately accelerated, but someone needed to, in the first, our first session, someone needed to get pardon. You see that? So, and then I accelerated. There, I didn't consider that person. So that's why in presentations you can a little slow down the speed so people to follow up. So, but considerateness goes so further that even if you are to invite people for a meeting and someone is from Kampala, you're calling the person for a meeting, possibly this person, if you set the meeting to be at 7 a.m., have you considered the distance of the person? Possibly the person will have to either sleep on a bus, reach in the meeting with ready eyes or tired, or otherwise has to rent to hire a room and sleep over. So as you setting the message, communicating it, are you considering the state of life of others, or you're only looking at your side? Then there is also consistency. The current message should be in line with the previous one. You see that? That's consistency. Yes, should be related. And in case there is any change, the current message should capture the changes of the previous. Say, we had earlier on, okay, the meeting has been postponed to that day, another day. Other than saying, we have a meeting tomorrow, yet you had earlier on communicated it is today. So you receive some people coming today and others coming tomorrow, because your message was not telling them that the message that the meeting that was supposed to be today has been postponed to tomorrow. That's consisting. So the current message should be related to the previous message. In case of changes, let the recipient know. Let me. There, let us look at the aspects of public communication. public communication. This is the heart and the art of communicating to larger audiences. The heart and the art. Mhm, of communicating to larger audiences. So audiences can be familiar audiences or unfamiliar audiences. Mm. So they can also be new audiences. If we lifted you from here to go and communicate to the people in South Africa, you would see some people quaking. You know quaking? Earthquake. Yes, the earthquake comes. Uh-huh. Or otherwise, not communicating without effectiveness. So we would like also the teacher to be able to communicate to larger audiences in here. So these are considerations one should bear in mind while communicating to the public. One, the communicator should identify the needs of the people to communicate to. The communicator should identify the needs of these people to communicate to. If people are interested in hearing messages on how to grow tomatoes, then you come with messages on how to grow maize. Possibly, you will not be having them. They will, they will see he has wasted time, effort, his time for nothing. That's why if you are at any point invited to communicate to an audience, find out what exactly is that audience suffering from. What is their problem? What is their challenge? What is that exactly they want to hear? But what they want to hear may not be necessarily what they need to hear. So you come with what they need to hear, but considering also what they want to hear. There are some audiences where I'm invited to communicate, and then the audience is wants to hear. I tend to be educating in business. They want to hear a message coming from me that we are lending money. By the end of it, we can lend you money. Now, I usually tell them, because we are not money lenders, I usually tell them that the person you're inviting is a business educator, not a money lender. If they are interested in a money lender, I can refer someone else to come and talk to them. Because now you'll be speaking all the good words, but the audience is like, where is he mentioning about lending us money? So the other is identify the challenges and perspectives of the people. That is key. Inform the people these challenges. Inform people of those challenges. Now, if they wanted money lenders, I can say I'm not a money lender, but I will share with them how, if they have borrowed the money, how they can use this money. But that's also, hey, I can borrow it and then fail to pay and they impound my land. That's considering what they want and then giving them what they need. Then sequentially, draw a message to help to solve their challenges. The other is look at them. Hmm? Look at the people look at your audience, speak politely but authoritatively. Look at your audience, speak politely but authoritatively. Sometimes you speak while looking at the iron sheets, looking down. Those things they taught us in some classes. You look at people's hair, not their eyes, because their eyes are scary. Ah, that's communication. Look at people. Hmm? The other is communicate without verbal clues such as um, you see that. Okay, what um there you're guessing and you're guessing what to say. And also I think according to me, those words, according to me, as I see, it is you. You are the one. Tell tell us. Me personally. If you want the audience to know that you're the one who developed that concept, tell the audience, this is what I have discovered. Yes, this is what I have come up with. And according to me, what I see, uh-uh. So those words bring doubt in the audience. Then practice your speech before the presentation. Speak for clarity. Okay, seek for clarity from organizers to be informed. So that organizers will now be able to tell you, in this conference or this seminar or this meeting, we are expecting to have the chairperson LC5. They could sit even there, you don't know. You start your presentation and you didn't know. Yes, not observed. And then in the case of appraisals, have you heard of any appraisals? Cheering. Because when you make an issue which is very key, people are, yeah. Eh? Yes. You can, presenters sometimes end up repeating and repeating what has excited the audience, and then the audience says, now is, is it the only thing he knows? So as they are appraising you, yeah, you can wait, pause a little, and then if they are prolonging beyond and wasting time in it, say, attention, please, attention. Now this is it. Other than again speaking when they are in that kind of cheering. Moving around the stage or the podium is good. The podium is good, but the podium is that platform where you're speaking. You can move from the podium. That is good, but if you overdo it, like over moving again, comedian. And some people, like he's mentioning, some people hide the fear and the quaking in that. Yeah. You want to see that they are shaking because they are moving. Because you're stable. Is it true? Because you're stable. Yeah. Okay. So using gestures is also good, but when overdone may not be good. So you regulate action. Gestures you could even hit people's caps. Sorry. Even your own bag. Hmm? Coughing is good. Is okay. Coughing is okay, but not to cough on the microphone. So even have a hanky very next to you, that if coughing comes, or a tissue, you cough with the hanky. Not to cough again in the what? In the hand. Sorry. Yeah, but if you had a hanky somewhere and you're coughing, yes, good to do it, to cough with that. Yeah, it's okay, because you can't say the cough has come and then you swallow it. You swallow it. So the microphone should be extended uh, close to the to your mouth, but again not very close and not also very far away from the mouth. You've heard people speaking on the microphone as though they are blowing air in the speakers. Hmm? As you speak, there is air that is coming out of your mouth. So this air should not blow on the speaker. Again, when it is far, it is not good. Some people actually use gestures with the hand that is holding the microphone. Again, you see now what? What is- Before they know it, the microphone, back to the mouth. If you have, they are telling you. So yes, and again, we don't also blow the microphone or hit the microphone to see whether it is on or off. You touch the microphone slightly, like touching it slightly. You'll hear a little sound on the speakers also. Other than hitting it, when you're spoiling it, you're also showing us that you know little about how to use the microphone. Of course, because the community does that, but now just what do they do in the radio to see that the microphones are functioning? Do they hit? But they touch a little and hear the speakers in the studio. So go on. Otherwise, you'll be hearing that every day on your testing microphone 1, 2, or other things on the radios. So jokes are good, but when they are overdone, they can turn the message. They can dilute the message. Jokes. There are some panels where you need to sit, not to stand. They are prepared for you, a table, a seat, and there are those little microphones. I know some of you could go that way. There are those little microphones. You've seen them with a red ring and placed. So when sitting, especially the ladies, you sit when the legs are crossed, like here. You can sit. But when you sit and spread the legs, instead of the ears getting the message, to be the eyes getting the message. So lastly on that, when standing, for example, standing akimbo. Yes? How is to stand akimbo? Yes. Stand straight and be as though you are not movable.
They are stuck.
Yes. As though you are not movable and as though you are stuck on the ground. That is in communication, have some mobility if it is to be standing. Some mobility so that people will be standing up and seeing whether there's something holding you on the ground. So then listen to fellow panelists. Sorry, standing akimbo. Avoid standing akimbo. Yes. Hmm? Yes. You can move to the audience. Yes. Not to be standing in one place from the time of your your speech, unless the microphone you're using is immovable. Then you have the reason, and even the audience will have the reason to say, yeah, it's not moving because yes, the position of the mind. But that's why you see some politicians who are very tactical actually win votes while it comes to to pe- to speaking to people. They'll speak they speak to these people and say they'll move to them and say, Wama mama. Wama mama. Okay. Don't we have a water scarcity in your village? You say yes. Yeah, that's what we are saying. That has been our problem in this village. Which you may struggle to achieve when you are far away from people. So you can get close to them, but also making sure that you are within the waves of the public address system. Otherwise, you pull the wires and then speakers fall. Now, in our last phase, you see forms of communication. We have verbal communication, non-verbal. Verbal is in terms of speaking. Non-verbal is not spoken, can be written, can be in terms of sign language, gestures, or demonstration. Audio and visualized communication. Audio and visualized communication. That is now recorded sound balanced with a video. So you can now see, what's your name? Lazaro.
Yes.
Teacher Lazaro on in a lesson teaching learners possibly in a video form. We can record you teaching a lesson and then people go and study them. Even right now, I am holding 3 classes in the university today for weekend students at Kampala campus. At main campus, there are 2 classes. Kampala campus, there is 1 class. But I've already prepared. I've already prepared the lessons for them to follow, and they are recorded in terms of audio and video. So they actually my presence here would not make sense if you would have my audio and video. That's me. My presence, unless people wanted to shake my hands and and then there. So could be physical or digital communication. Physical means you are present, the person is present, and almost in the same place with the recipient of the message. Digital, now there is a separation of what? Of space between the people. The person can be far away, but you are communicating to the person using digital platforms such as YouTube. You can communicate. So these days, people are going on TikTok, WhatsApp. All those are, you call them social media platforms, but they are also digital platforms. So now you learn applications of in your research. You're going to research how to write letters. A letter which is official, how to write announcements, an announcement. Yes, this is application. You need to apply in writing, real writing. Here you've been hearing me, but you know most of the things we need to also have a hand on them. So you need to learn to write letters. What was the second? Announcement. To write CVs, reports, and minutes. The other one, which possibly which, I may not be able to achieve from you because they need much equipment like television, radio, all those, and being in audiences. Those I may, because of the time I have with you here, I may not be able to see them. But the other ones, please make sure that you do research on how they are done that I've given you on the listing. So this is what is expected of you to be able to apply communication skills in your daily life. I would like to close this lecture here. My name is Ssebuyungo Wilber Kivekayunga, a lecturer at Nkumba University, the Managing Director of the Action Entrepreneurs. Thank you. We shall link up next time.